Hi, my name is Audra and I am the author of a book called At the Helm about young widows and their journey through struggle towards strength. Some of the themes of my book are the intersection between grief and hope and light and dark. It's about the hard parts of young widowhood, including having children and having jobs and having to manage finances and things like that. But it's also about the beauty on the other side of the struggle and how we learn things from all of those difficult parts of being a young widow. What made me want to write this book is that in 2015, when my husband died, I had really no one to relate to. My friend had lost her husband 2 years earlier, but her journey was different than mine. I wanted a book that I could relate to, something that had some similarities to the life that I was currently living. I went to Barnes & Noble and I looked for that book and I couldn't find anything back in 2015. So I decided to write the book myself. My book is a little bit different than a lot of the blogs and books that I have read in research for my own. I feel like I take a more positive spin on the idea of widowhood and grief. Many blogs and books that have been written recently also have a positive spin, but I think that I talk a little bit more about how without struggle there could not be strength. This book includes insights from a number of different groups of people. One is the number of widows that I interviewed, and many of the stories in my book come from different bloggers and different books that I've read. I am inspired by some authors that you may know, such as Brené Brown, Malcolm Gladwell, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, David Kessler. They're mentioned many times in my book. My hope for this book is that young widows will pick it up and be able to relate to it. I want them to pick it up and say, I can relate to what happened with her son. I can relate to how I felt about when my in-laws did this or that. I can relate to not knowing what to do with his urn or his body when he died. I want that ability to relate to make a young widow feel better and feel like she's got this and feel like she can have hope and that one day she will feel strong again and whole again. You will want to read this book if you are a young widow, especially if you just started out on this journey. You will want to read it if you're looking for something to relate to, something to make you feel strong and connected. You'll want to read it if you are the family member or friend of a young woman who just lost her husband too early. My name is Audra and I am the author of a book called At the Helm about young widows and their journey through struggle towards strength.